So we're getting to part 2 of the video with the 4 exercises that I use to help build a serve. And I have my student Selma here. Selma, say hello. And she's going to demonstrate one of my all-time favorite drills. It's called the L-shaped drill. And I think you guys can really use this to develop a great serve. And I'm going to show you a little bit of how I use the L-shaped drill to develop a great L shape and also other serve fundamentals. Okay, so what you do, Selma, is you start in the L. We haven't really worked on this that much before, so and then you toss it up and you freeze a little, and then you go and make your serve like a normal serve. But you start in the L shape to try to promote that muscle memory trophy position. All right, you want to try it? Let's do a bunch. Hold that position as long as you can and then go. That was great. Let's do it again. So the goal here is to try to promote the feeling of this position. Go ahead, go into the trophy position. You don't have to hit it. We want the player to learn how to get this L into the muscle memory, myelinate it, and then she can do the rest of her motion up into the ball. Let's try it again. So start in the L, toss it up, hold and hit. Ready? Start in the L. Good job. So one thing you can work on, getting back to what we talked about in the first part, is how the racket drops. If you notice, Selma opens this a little bit so the strings are facing up. I would prefer she works on this hinge movement that I mentioned in part 1. And so you can work on these details in the L shape. You're working on the L shape, but you're also working on the mechanics from here. And then you can also work on reaching up and getting a good tricep extension. So L shape, drop, and then use your tricep to extend. Very nice. That's okay. A little miss hit, but that's all right. Very good L shape. Yeah. Great serve. Great serve. Okay, guys, when we're in the L shape, go ahead, lift your arm up. Make sure that when the player tosses, you work on the rhythm, because a lot of players, when they toss, they'll go right here and they'll enter the back scratch too soon. And that's something that I mentioned in part 1, how this is almost an epidemic in junior tennis technique. You see players entering here too early. So when you toss it up, make sure you hold this position as long as you can, and then back scratch and go to the ball at the last moment. Selma, you want to hold as long as you can. Don't enter here too soon. And then when you decide to enter, go fast and make that good tricep extension. Okay, all right, one more. L shape. All right, great serve. One thing I'd like to add for anyone coaching children or even adults is that when you're working on technique, you really need to physically help the player through the movements. And so I'm a big proponent of physical manipulation. If you see when I work with Selma here, sometimes I will prop her elbow up, or I'll move her hand and racket the way that I want. And I don't just stand and give her verbal cues. And I also don't do only visual demonstrations. In this country, we do a lot of visual demonstrations, and we do a lot of talking, and I don't believe that's really that important in developing great technique. It can be for some people that are very visual learners, but in my experience working with hundreds of players and teaching world-class serves, I like to get in there, and I can get much better and faster results by physically manipulating the player, showing them what I want, helping them feel the movement that I want, and then they can learn it much faster than if I just talk to them or talk at them or even show them my own serve.